Hello, everyone. Welcome to another day of our World Cup review. It is day 12, and we have got quite a lot to talk about. I'm sure if you were watching the games yesterday, you would understand what we are going to be talking about today. Okay, with me, I have my brother and friend, Mr. Osita. How are you doing today, my bro?
Very well, thank you, Mr. Cheeks.
Yes, it was an
Uh,
eventful day. And I'm glad I've got you in to talk about that eventful day. You know, some big boys, we have seen them eventually leave the competition, against expectations, you know. So let's start with the first one that happened. The the
the Group F,
group F. Yes, group
yeah,
F with Belgium. Yeah, is it Group
Croatia,
F?
yes, Croatia,
Yeah,
Belgium, then
yeah,
Canada
Croatia,
and Morocco.
Belgium, Canada, and Morocco. Yes, we'll
Yes.
start with that one. So, what did you make of those games, my brother?
Well, I think from the start, Belgium never had a strong showing for the World Cup. If you
It
recall,
from the first game, yeah,
their first
were,
group match was just
yeah,
a narrow win, and
mm,
it's because Canada wasn't really organized per se. But
mm,
the shock came anyway. It wasn't a shock. So their defeat against Morocco, people saw it as a shock. I really didn't see it as a shock. I saw it that they weren't really organized,
yeah,
and the events that happened after that game will tell you that this team is so disorganized.
yeah,
Just the
yeah,
same thing that happened with the French team in the 2010 World Cup, where
yeah.
people that were blaming the
Blaming each
coach and the
other,
coach were,
yeah,
you know,
blaming some
stuff
players.
like that.
Yeah, I
So they
remember
weren't
that
really,
was the time of was it not Patrice Evra and the rest of them?
yes, who
Mm.
Roman Domenech had to step down,
Yeah, Dominic,
Evra
yeah.
had to leave the team,
Yeah.
Anelka had to leave,
Yeah, I remember.
uh, people like Benzema come back. The whole team was just messed up. So
Yeah.
similar scenario kind of played in this
Played out
Belgium
with this
side.
Belgium team, yeah.
Uh, with De Bruyne going to the media to tell them that the team has aged, and that has caused a little bit of scuffle because people are looking at the team and we have other teams in the World
Mm,
Cup that have older players and are still more
exactly.
organized
Organized,
and are
yeah.
still,
Yeah.
doing stuff. But that wasn't enough. The thing is that they were prepared and they showed yesterday.
It should,
But
yeah.
I think they had a difficult time trying to play Croatia. Croatia was more compact, more
Mm,
organized.
mm.
They had more on the ball, but Belgium had good chances, but it was just
They did.
unfortunate.
They
People like
did. And
Lukaku
it
could,
fell to the man you would think is the right man for it to fall to.
yeah,
In
yeah.
Lukaku. But I mean, I felt for him yesterday because apart from that one that hit the bar, the others were not
And the one
totally
that
caught chances.
yeah. Well, they were. I would say all the chances he had were half chances. I
Hmm.
wouldn't say they were full, full
Yeah,
chances. But then,
yeah,
knowing the kind of player he is, he can make something out of
out
any
of
of the
nothing.
situation.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's why
unfortunately
everyone
for him
is,
yesterday,
giving him a lot of stick because of it, because they expected that a player of his caliber, you just need half a chance and you can create something out of it. It's like that
I
chance
think
Messi had in that game against Mexico. It wasn't
yes,
proper, it wasn't,
well,
out of
wasn't
it,
a proper
just
chance, but he just
just took
had
the
to use
shot
it.
and it was
Mm.
in, you know? So that's
But
how great players behave.
I think one of the problems he had was he wasn't organized that yesterday. It was just here and there. But I started wondering, like, this type of situation they would have needed a Divock Origi to salvage
Yeah, that's
something
true.
for them.
That's
But
true. That's
Unfortunately, he
true.
wasn't even in the squad, and
Yeah, that's actually true.
some that's the kind of situation where you invite him and he does his
He does
Origi magic.
he does his thing.
But yeah, and people like De Bruyne were just not in the game at all. It was
Mm.
just unfortunate to see them leave.
I
But
mean,
kudos,
this guy that came on was actually good. I mean, he didn't start well, but he kind of grew in the game. That Doku guy, Jeremy Doku,
yeah, yeah, yes,
he was
true.
trying to
He
help
he
create things,
he was the one that
especially when
tried
he moved to
to
the right.
make
When he
things
was at the
happen.
left, he wasn't very effective.
He
But when
wasn't
he moved to the
effective,
right,
so
yeah,
yes. Exactly. So Jeremy
yeah,
Doku that replaced Carrasco. Carrasco was another guy that actually played very well yesterday.
mm,
And kudos to him that he actually gave a good account of
of
himself.
himself, yeah,
So, yeah. And also kudos to the Croatian team because they played together as a unit.
that's
And they
true.
made sure
That's
they
true.
nullified all the threats from
All the
the
threats.
Belgians.
Mm.
And
They had a
and
few
as you
chances
know,
themselves as well, but Courtois was up to it.
yeah, so
Mm,
it was yeah, initially, especially within the first few minutes of the game,
mm,
they had chances where they could have scored, but it
mm.
didn't happen for them. And again, they had they had a penalty
Yes, that penalty
disallowed.
shout that was disallowed. I remember it was
Yes, they
for
had
an
a penalty
offside
disallowed.
an
Yes, it
offside
was
in the
actually
game.
an offside. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I mean, just
it
his
was
shoulder,
cancelled.
but offside is offside now.
Honestly, because the build-up was actually an offside.
Mm,
So looking at how VAR judge things, VAR decided to do what VAR knows how to do best
mm,
and cancelled the penalty.
yeah,
Well, it was a good game. Well, let's see how Croatia will progress in the knockout stages, but
yeah.
they've done well for
They've
themselves.
done well for
Actually,
themselves.
I actually tipped them to, I tipped Belgium and Croatia to qualify, and
Yeah, same
it
here.
was
Same here.
unfortunate that
Same here.
Belgium Belgium were really below par this time
Same here.
around. They were
Same here.
even worse than
I
I
don't know if
thought.
you've seen my post. I was talking about, the lady who's part of our
Yes,
group, Kiki, who
yes.
actually predicted
Predicted Morocco to top
Morocco
the group.
to top the
You
group
know
and Croatia to come second. As in, and remember
what?
when I did the studio video and I was laughing
Yeah,
at
I
her,
went back and I saw that and I said,
laughing at her
"Wow,
profusely.
what is going through your mind now that this has actually happened?" But I think it's worth asking her the rationale behind that selection
That
she made
thinking, yeah.
because it's not
Maybe she just went for an
you
African
know
team, just thought,
yeah,
oh, they're an
I
African
feel
team.
it might be that bias, but for
Yeah.
me, honestly, looking at that group, you never gave Morocco a chance. The worst they
Nah,
could have done is to finish third,
third,
but
yeah.
wow,
Well
Morocco
done to
really
them. Well done
impressed,
to them. We
you
must not
know.
forget they played well against Belgium, deserved their
Yes,
win. Now all
yes.
they needed to do was win their game against
Win
Canada,
their game against
which
Canada
I
and
felt
beat the
was
big
an easy
seven.
task to do, based on obviously
Canada,
Canada was already out. They only playing
Canada
for
was one of
pride.
the weakest teams.
Yeah, they were playing for pride, but yet they still couldn't. I think what they did as well, they made some changes in their team. Maybe just to make sure everyone who came for the World Cup actually played, you
Had a
know?
chance to play.
Yeah, had a
Yes,
chance to play because that keeper was very woeful, their
yeah,
keeper,
it was.
you know.
It was very
And
terrible.
I don't think he's
I
the
think
first choice keeper.
no, he's not. He's not
Yeah.
actually. The first choice keeper was a guy called Ahmed
Okay.
Ahmed
Okay.
Ridan. Yeah,
Okay.
Ridan, I
So he
think
was
is
the
their
one in
first
the
choice
first two
keeper.
games.
Yes.
Yeah, because that guy,
So
man, that guy, especially that error for the first goal. No, it's a schoolboy error. You don't do, if you come out like that, you either clear the ball out or, you have full control of it. But, He just tried to push it forward, forgetting that he's going outfield. I don't know why keepers do that a lot. Want to be part of the game and play and be like a
There's
sweeper.
this new trend now. There's this new trend now where some progressive-minded coaches go for
Mm,
ball-playing goalkeepers.
mm,
So they try to use the goalkeeper as part of the build-up.
mm,
So, the way instead of the goalkeeper to just play wide into, the middle of the park and, start
uh,
players try to hustle for the ball. They
yeah,
prefer the goalkeepers to start the
passing.
build up from the
Mm,
back, passing it to
mm,
the right to the fullbacks and from the
yeah.
fullbacks to the midfield and then
Mm,
midfield to the wingers and that.
hmm
So, so that is, I think that's more like, that is one of the criterias. In fact, part of the reasons why in Chelsea, for instance, Graham Potter prefer Kepa to
To Mendy.
Mendy is because Kepa is a ball-playing goalkeeper.
Mm.
To
I know the
him,
best at
he
doing it is Ederson.
Ederson. Ederson
Is the best.
is I
Yeah.
think he immediately Guardiola identified and signed Ederson. The rest was history
The
because
rest.
he
Yeah.
plays from the back, and I
Mm,
think that's a more recent attribute coaches look out for goalkeepers these days. So
mm,
they want
mm,
goalkeepers to play from the back. So most of them now give them that impetus that they
mm.
can still be part of the play. So I
Yeah.
think maybe that's what is, confusing some of them,
Mm.
putting them in unnecessary awkward positions. Especially
Yeah.
when the counter attack is intense like that. It puts
Yeah.
them in awkward position. And before they can return to their regular position, the
They've
damage
conceded.
must have been done.
Mm, mm. So
Yeah,
yeah, well done to Morocco, man. Being not
yeah.
just qualifying for, topping the group. So well done to them.
Group. Yeah, it's
Well done
it's
to
it's a
them. It
first. I
gives
can't
them
remember the first time an African country
the
topped a
last
group in
time
a
it
World
happened
Cup.
was actually Nigeria who did it in France
Yeah, in
98.
'94, in
No,
'98.
98.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
because
what the stat says. The last African team to top a group was Nigeria in France 98.
France '98. Yeah, because
So,
I remember that competition.
mm,
Nigeria did so well in the
they did.
knockout in the group stages,
Yeah, they
just like
did.
they do in every other competition. But
Yeah. When
they
it
are
gets
not
to the
just
knockout stage,
too
start to fall
prolific
apart.
in the knockouts.
Yeah.
You
Is that
know.
not the one we were hoping for Brazil when we played Denmark? Is that the one?
Yes, and
Yeah,
Denmark
that
actually
Denmark
won
for
2-1.
no 4-1. They beat us comprehensively.
Was it 4-1? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
4-1,
4-1.
4-1. This
4-1.
Loudrop scored, I think, a
Yeah.
brace in that
Yeah, he
game.
scored
Yeah,
twice. Yeah. I remember
yeah.
that
So
game.
it was one
Yeah,
of
so
those games, and
hopefully Morocco
even
don't make the
even
same
if
mistake.
yes, even in '94 when we were one of the best teams in the world, we still
Yeah,
went out in the round of 16. I don't
yeah,
understand how.
yeah.
Well,
Who
let's
who
see
who
how
knocked us out
others.
again in the round of 16?
It was Italy.
Italy, yeah.
It was the
Um,
2-1. It was the one I was thinking. They won
Roberto
us 2-1.
Baggio, yeah.
Baggio scored a penalty.
Yeah, he scored the win.
Yeah.
Did he not score the winning goal, or was it the first goal he
I think
scored?
he scored a penalty and scored the winning goal because
Yeah,
Nigeria scored first. They
mm,
equalized through a penalty and then scored again.
scored again. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it has
Anyway,
been like that.
back to our games. Well done to Morocco, and I hope they can play well in their next game. I'm trying to remember who their next game is against. They will be playing Spain. So
Yeah, they will play
that's
Spain
a
because Spain
difficult one, but
finished
it's
second.
a winnable game. They can go,
Man,
they can be consoled by what Japan did and say, look, if Japan can do it, let's just, try and be as tight and compact and
mm,
counter-attacking like Japan and see if we can get a win.
you
But it'll be
know, you see
difficult.
that the problem with Spain yesterday
Mm,
was that Japan were
yeah.
underrated. I don't think Spain rated Japan. the way they
Yeah, but
should.
they should have learned from them beating
That is the
Germany.
thing. That is the
Maybe
thing.
because they now lost to Costa Rica, I think, oh, maybe it was just a one-off, like
Yes.
how Saudi
So
Arabia was a
that
one-off.
rating, that rating wasn't there, and they had to pay for it. But
Mm,
I think looking carefully at what Morocco has done in their group,
mm.
Spain will take them more serious. And besides, you know the implication of the knockout.
It's a
Once you
knockout
lose, you're
stage now.
out.
Once you lose, you're out.
And
So,
and I don't see Cameroon, I don't see Morocco coming out of that game unscathed.
yeah.
I think at the end of the day, Spain will just, it's an easy win for Spain. But where the problem will lie for a team like Spain is in the quarterfinal.
Mm.
Because the higher you go, the more difficult it becomes. So
Becomes,
for the
yeah,
quarterfinal,
yeah.
if they end up with say a team like Netherlands, for example,
No,
it's
Netherlands
going
is
to be
on the
very
other side,
difficult.
so they probably will not play. They've kind of separated into two groups now that
Yeah.
will play each other. So I think France, England,
Yeah. And
and
the
Spain are
Netherlands
on the same side.
side. So
So Netherlands,
if they play,
Netherlands is on the other side, I think.
I was actually thinking of France. So if
Oh
they
yeah.
play a team like France that is very fast on the ball,
Mm-hmm.
that tiki-taka Barcelona style of football employed in the Spanish national team might not really pay them.
It might not pay off.
Yeah, because the French are very fast and they are very direct in the attack.
Mm, yeah.
So I think they will push Morocco aside. I think they have what it takes
Then
to
it to
just push Morocco
yeah,
aside.
then it to be the next
Then
round after that.
the
That's
next round,
things become more
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, so
yes.
obviously talking about the Spain Japan game, you saw most of that game. So what did you actually make of that game?
Yeah, so Spain within the first 15 minutes scored their first goal via Alvaro
Morata.
Morata, and
Yeah,
they were just playing their
passing.
normal game,
Yeah.
passing their game. So, and that was how the first half ended. So entering the second half, but Japan equalized immediately. 3 minutes into the second half, Japan
Mm,
equalized, and
mm.
4 minutes later, 5 minutes, 3 minutes later, they now scored the second goal, which actually
Finally,
turned the game. And
yeah,
the way
around.
and manner they scored that goal, imagine a goal they scored and it took another 2, 3 minutes for VAR to decide if it was a
If
goal
it
or
was a
not.
goal or not.
And actually, that game destabilized Spain. So
Mm,
Spain decided to hold back because they are worried because I think they came out the second half and they were pushing to see if they could score again, and
mm,
the equalizer came and
mm.
they considered the second
Yeah,
goal. So they
yeah.
just decided to just close down on what
Close
they have
down and
because
because they
yes,
have a
because they've
seven
worked
goal
out
difference.
mathematically.
Yeah,
Good. They've looked at the mathematics. So actually, it actually at the end of the day reduced to +4. Their goal difference was at +4
yeah.
because remember they considered one against
Against
Germany,
Germany.
Germany,
No, but it would
and
have still been
considered
seven
two.
at that time because it's even now. Shay, you understand? They're both even. So you've scored 8 goals, you've considered one. So your goal difference was still +7. Is when they now considered against um Japan, it now went down to 6 because they also scored. So they only one goal. So their goal difference was actually +6. You understand? It was +6 at the end,
Yes, yes, it
based on
was +6 at the end
based on the
based
goal.
on the goals scored
Because
so far. But
scoring well, it's not as if they were just conceding.
I think what they did was
Mm,
when it got to that point, they
yeah,
now understood that kind of threat that Japan can pose
yeah,
by not allowing them score again and
yeah.
them trying to, if possible, equalize the game. They tried as much as they can to equalize the game, but
Just wasn't
it never
happening.
happened. It wasn't just happening. So,
Mm.
and Japan, I remember someone during the course of the World Cup describing Japan as the dark horses of this year's competition, and I'm starting to believe that
See that.
they are they are one team that you wouldn't for any reason whatsoever because you're looking at the profile of players they have
Mm.
and how they are thinking and all that. So you never gave them that rating, but they are
Mm.
there to hurt you.
Yeah.
Their job is to just take the big teams and cause an upset. And they've
Mm.
done it against Germany.
They've
They
done
did
it
it
again in
yesterday against
Spain.
Spain.
And their next game is against Croatia. So that game, in
Yeah.
my opinion, is a
I
game
think
they can
Japan will win
actually win.
Croatia.
Yeah, it's a
I
game
think
they
they
can
can win
actually
Croatia.
win.
I have no doubt about that.
Mm.
I have no doubt about the fact that they can win
Because
Croatia
they
comfortably.
seem to play better against the European teams and the
Yes,
European big boys
yes.
as well. So they might say, "Oh,
So
Croatia is another
I
European big
think
boy that we need to take
I
down."
think at some point, I believed that Croatia wouldn't have qualified.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking if
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 Belgium had
if
scored, that
Belgium
would have
managed
just
to score,
yeah, that
they
would
would
have
have they
changed.
would have just gone
You
out of
know,
the competition.
yeah, because Belgium will now be on 6, so they would have definitely gone out. That's why it pained Belgium the most because they knew
It
all
pained
they
them the
needed to
most
do
because
was just score in
they'll
that
just
game.
score one goal
And
everything
they'll be
will
true.
change.
So it ended up being that Belgium only scored 1 goal in this World Cup.
And the whole
Yeah,
World Cup, which is a
that's
very
just sad,
poor record for them.
for a team like Belgium, who are rated second in
Belgium
the world,
in the world,
before the
yes.
World Cup started, they did the rankings and Belgium was second before they started.
And that will severely hurt their chances,
Yeah.
their rankings. So by
It
the
will,
time
it
the
will
next
definitely.
the next world ranking comes out, they
Yeah,
will
they
they
probably
might
have
have fallen
dropped.
like
Yeah,
up to sixth or seventh if care
seven
is not
places.
taken.
Yeah, I feel so. I feel so. Depends on who
It's
wins as well. Whoever comes out tops, as long as it's people within the range that are higher than them, then they will definitely drop.
yeah,
They
drop,
will
yes.
definitely drop. So
So
yeah.
I hope
So yeah, go on, go on. You hope what?
so I hope I hope to see what happens in the upcoming games,
Yeah,
especially
that's what I was
the
gonna
one
talk
that will
about.
be played
The ones playing
today.
today. It's another
Yeah,
cracker, guys. Another cracker. So we have Cameroon playing Brazil. That's a huge game for Cameroon, especially.
that's a massive game.
Yeah.
And
Then
then
Serbia
there's
playing Switzerland.
there's this revenge game happening today.
Uruguay, Ghana.
That's a revenge game.
Uruguay, Ghana. I
I
hope the
hope
Ghanaians
Ghana
turn up.
I hope Ghana can turn up in this match to use this match to send a statement.
Yeah.
You know, I
Because I've
hope
heard
they
Luis
can.
Suarez saying he's not apologetic for what he did, even in 2010.
Well, well. Why should he really apologize? If
Exactly.
Ghana did their
Their
mathematics
part.
well,
Yeah.
that would have been an excellent opportunity to qualify for the semi-final.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get easier than that. Giving
Yeah.
you a penalty in the
The last
dying minute,
minute
in the
of the
dying
game.
seconds of a
In fact,
game.
that was like the last
Just
kick of the
just
game. Just
yeah,
score
just put
and
it in the
win.
net, and everything
And
will be
that's it.
history. You know,
You know?
you know. But I think they should. I think they should make a statement today by winning this game.
They should. I think they will because this Uruguayan side, they don't look strong as well. But
They've aged.
the problem is they
It,
might remember that this is a grudge match and decide to turn up and say, look, we cannot lose this game to Ghana. And this might then be the game that they eventually turn up. When maybe you don't
yes,
really,
yes.
there's probably nothing to play for because I don't see them qualifying from that group unless Okay, the only other team that has a chance actually is Ghana, you know,
No,
because
I
Portugal,
think Ghana.
Portugal, Portugal has already gone through with their 2 wins. But
I think Ghana can qualify today.
Ghana, Uruguay,
Actually, Ghana is second place.
yeah,
So
at the
all
minute,
Ghana needs is a draw.
yeah,
All they need is a draw to
yep,
qualify.
yeah.
And
But I'm
yeah,
sure they'll be
Ghana
going
can
for a win.
qualify.
I'm sure they'll try and go for a win.
Right, yeah. I hope they win today's game. I
Yeah, I hope
hope
they
they
do.
win tonight's game.
South
Hope
Korea,
they do.
they've been okay. Well, they played really well, especially towards the end of that game against Ghana, but they left it too late. The pressure they put on Ghana in that game was just too much. If they play like that against Portugal, because I know Portugal have qualified, so they might not, maybe they might give all the other players a chance to play, you know? So they might
Are you
end up
saying they
beating
might?
Portugal. And if they beat Portugal
Uh,
and Ghana cannot beat Uruguay, then there's a problem because South Korea might go through. Because if South
but
Korea beats Portugal and
but
Ghana,
if you look at
oh, hang on.
well, well, well,
Yeah,
they
that's
can
true
if
because
they win.
Ghana actually lost their first game. Remember?
So if they can win Portugal by 2 goals,
Mm-hmm.
they might stand a chance if Uruguay win Ghana by 1. They will now qualify by.
Mm.
They need at least 3 goals. Three
Yeah,
goals win
yeah,
against Portugal. And
yeah.
then hope that Uruguay draw Ghana and they'll qualify.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, though. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
I think the
a
group is
very
quite
good day
open.
of football again. It's another good day of football. And obviously, after today, we would now know all the guys for the round of 16. And, this is where it becomes interesting from tomorrow, Saturday. It
From
becomes
tomorrow,
interesting.
Saturday.
So there'll be games
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Monday,
then another
Tuesday.
break Wednesday,
Break
Thursday,
Wednesday. Then they'll start again Friday, Saturday for
Friday,
the
Saturday.
quarterfinal.
Yeah.
For the
So
quarterfinals. And
getting
then
intense now. It's getting intense. It's getting very intense. So we look forward to those games today. And thank you guys for listening in. Thank you, my guests, Mr. Osita, for
thank you,
being
my
here.
brother.
And I'm sure when
Thank
we
you for
meet
inviting
again,
me.
we'll be talking about the next games that have taken place today. Thank you again, bro.
Sure.
Have a lovely,
Thank you.
lovely day, guys. And I shall see you again soon.
Don't check this.